وأقدم قال حياتك وحب وسلا بهاليو نزبل حتى هو يبها تخون زغرة أبقى منها تجيو خلقة فتحن حقن حسكا خلقة أب يماني وني ناي تاريخ خلقة أجير له أجينا لنا نبلو بزيمو عندنا وعد دهان مصحفهم يبلالو مسحواتي مسبوطاتي وينه
جماعتنا نحن جعلنا نتكرم إدريس عواتي وجميع أمهاتنا وآبائنا للنضال من أجل الأصدقاء. أهلا بكم كل يا جماعة.
Hi everyone, I'm Faven from DC. Welcome to my city. I was told to give the speech in English. Thank you all for coming today to the Yiakl Festival. Today we honor Idris Alwate and our forefathers and mothers for starting the revolution. We're here today to continue that revolution for independence and freedom by saying Yiakl. So I want you all to say Yiakl with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yiakl.
Thank you.
how to speak in Tikgredian, the welcome statement. The survivors are mostly business people and professionals, lawyers, journalists, accountants. We also have elite long-distance runners from Ethiopia. They are not economic migrants. Most of them had high-level jobs at home and were fairly prosperous before they were forced to flee. When they first arrived here, they have poorly paid jobs, very different from the kind they held back home. They were persecuted because they participated in peaceful demonstrations, exposed government corruption, spoke out for freedom and democracy, because they were related to a political dissident, and in the case of Eritrea, just because they tried to escape from a repressive country that offers no positive future for its people. As task advocacy manager, I work with the survivors and task supporters to influence U.S. policy on human rights by interacting with the United States Congress and the State Department. Civil conscripts who served in the military for more than 18 months, ending religious persecution against all religious faiths in the country, releasing prisoners of conscience, and granting Eritreans the freedom to travel into and out of their own country. So, what we did in Washington mattered, what our torture survivors did mattered, and the relationship they developed. So, the last thing that I want to say is it's really important to develop friends in Congress. So you could have a big demonstration in front of the State Department. Who is going to take that information and bring it to the Congress? Nobody's going to just say, oh, look at all those Eritreans demonstrating in front of the State Department. I think we have to do something. It doesn't work that way. You have to cultivate, and I don't know who your representatives are.
Enough is enough.
Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. That's the first time I've heard from an Eritrean audience people being happy that I was a teacher. You know, when I graduated, everyone's like, "Why don't you be engineer? Go get some money." You know, so that's good. Like the biggest feat you can ever imagine.
You know, the stories of resistance that I heard as a child were extremely empowering. You know, I heard stories of when they were in school and Amharic was mandated as the language and how students walked out in protest. while they were teenagers. But I heard stories of resistance for my entire life. I heard of it when they came to America and they were part of the group NSAC, Eritrean students in North America.
They were resisting from America, from New York, from Boston, from DC. And so resistance is something that I've always heard, it's something I've always internalized, and it's something that I've been proud of to be part of that history. Even though it was a history that I couldn't really fully understand. In a home that's, it's not really home, but it's sort of home. But then the thing about being in Eritrea 24 years later was that every single young person who I met, my family, people who I was introduced to, every single young person only talked about when they were going to leave. When they were going to leave the country. And so even myself, as someone who doesn't speak Tigrinya, right? Even as someone who doesn't speak Tigrinya, you could feel the lack of hope in this place. Remember that air that I breathed when I first set foot in 1993 and it filled my lungs with power? It's the exact opposite that happened in 2017. Every breath I took, I felt like hope was being deflated. And the people who I was speaking to were confirming that in their broken English. They couldn't wait to leave. They knew the horrors of Libya. They knew the horrors of the Mediterranean. And they still said that they were going to take a risk. And so this is a reality that we know. And obviously everyone is here because this is something that we know can no longer stand. Eritreans, as Eritrean people, as Eritrean Americans, we've said enough for our entire history. That history of resistance, as I said, has empowered me, and it's a history that we're going to continue into the future for sure. Just to briefly again say what I'm trying to do in District 16, I'm continuing the tradition again, as I said, of my parents and all of you who have been fighting in resistance for Eritrean human rights, and for a vision that my father could unfortunately not live to fully see. And we're going to continue that. We're going to free Eritrea for sure, and we're going to ensure that representation is actually listening to us and guaranteeing
the conference the Dlao Kalila, Kizia, Asantia, Education, can I who feel our pain? We are decimated. We are dying. The vibrant nation that once, way back in 1991, we thought this kind of conference is going to be over. I did not expect our young people to fight now, 28 years after fighting 31 years. It's very sad. We are not dead yet. We are alive. I see these young people. I wish we were in a different situation. I wish the Eritreans here now had all kinds of businesses. Our history being, our situation being history, helping the ones who have no voices, the ones who don't have rights. This was what I would have loved, and I'm sure all of you would have loved to be at this moment. The young people, congratulations. At least we have a voice and we understand.
No matter what we do in the country, and some of you knew, some of you know, and some of you don't, Saad is my brother. We have the same mother, that's why we have different last names. And when I used to go to Eritrea, I went 6 times trying from microfinancing to building schools. I was fortunate enough to live in a place or to have a business and to be connected. What Agaba mentioned was from Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus. He started with $200 of macrofinancing with women to $8 billion. Giving them loans, just selling vegetables to end up on your lands. And I thought, God, if we could do this in Bangladesh with almost 1 billion people, we can do this in Eritrea. But when, you know, the first time I heard when I came to Asmara, and I went to my dad, like, what's Seb mean? You know, to graduate. And they said, he said, or something that you don't have to worry about it. And that just stuck in my mind. You can't, I mean, it doesn't bother me, I'm lucky enough, but I know friends that want to do, oh, why you don't, you know, come in, but it's so bad in the comes get with the Zarek, one state in the, like, I don't really get that. It doesn't, you know, get into my mind. So
Enough is enough.
ኣቐዲመ እንኳ ሓጎስና ይብል ኣለኹ።
Enough is enough.
መቸም ኣብ ኣሜሪካ እንታይ ኢስካ ክትፅእል ኩሉ ነገር ኣለኩ ካብ ጀርመን ንእሽተይ ድያ ዝመፅእ ኣለኹ ስቲከርስ ሞባይል ክትጥቅሙ ትኽእሉ ናይ ይኣክል ስቲከርስ ኣሎ ፅጡፍ ባዕዳ ክሳብ ኣብ በረኻ ክሳብ ዘንበረኻ የብሉ ንጎዝ ጥራይ ጥራይ ዘሎ ስርዓት ኣብ ልዕልና ቸይቸይ እንዳበለ ነበር ኣሎ ማለት እዩ እንተ ደኣ ንሕና ኤርትራውያን ብማሕበራዊ ብኩሉ ፖለቲካዊ ጉዳይ ክንቅርነፍን ክንሓብርን ክኢልና ካልእ ኣዕሚት ምፍራስ ከማና የድልና ብዙሕ ነገር ኣብኡ ዘሎ ቃልሲ ማለት ሲ ንስኻ بقى أخيرا الناس صحيحنا ما هترى ما قربوا فان قبل الأخذ دس قبل الأخذ سلسلة أخذنا السحر نسعسع نوري ولا نرى كل زمان لو بقى أنت رأيتم سلسلة ما هم كذا كذا زمان نوري ولا بيودكم بيجي يأكل كم تبهات على عمل كله لذي سب نحري أكل أنت تكبر قاليو الثلاثة قاليو تسبر بس هذا كله في أكل مبارنا يأكل هذا مسارعي زي كل زاواتي زي كل زاواتي من هجين بزمي زي تنتينا جلسنا بنا لا بعد هذا سبات زي برضو كتلو تقوليهم كل زعبون حسب دولة الزارب قلت كل شيء سايد افكتس عليه تنكرلو نابنت كذا ما يكون العالم تنكي وسايد افكت كلا يكون العالم أصعبنا أكيد كلا يكون العالم تنكي ناب زحول بنات يتوان العالم كاب زحول بنات كا ناب سناي تيروريزم وانا وزلو زكامات أساقا كيرنا مالتي إذا زي ما تقول سكن بنصار زراعة زهونة فتح رقم عين الكاسب
كقارتالو يأكل زملكت زيلو بنجر كملو بنوساس يأكل يأكلنا. هذا شو متعب كيرو. So إيش أنا أسف أنتني سكروا بده. كابسنا وتسمعتي. نازل تعرف كنت في لا. I was also born at Sabatolida, so I'm a chain. So yeah, and كابسنا وتقولتي كل زكاة زكاة من النجار ولا عسر كم كعسر شو كذا. هنجرب كل عامنا جزء حدا من يوم النجار مسحاوي تحيزنا. فريس من التلاميذ. إيه بس إحنا قلنا كل يوم كلنا هاتي أبزع دسي adults يتعامل حسب هاي كاسي ولا نأكل من adults بلكا you have to be 21 to drink. نيرتاو نتلين كابتن كاسي جاي منك ساحجي كابتن يشتاق سوي كابتن يشتاق.
كلهم تعلموا يأكل كله عاود كله غير مستعوضات ما تستاهل له أنزل ما نروح راتنا نأكلنا الذي نبزي سافروا
ድምፂ ውፅዓት